In this video and the ones that follow, we'll be looking at the different types of actions available in Onum to perform data transformations. As we've mentioned throughout the training, pipelines always begin with a listener. However, we can see that listeners don't have any configuration of their own inside the pipeline. All the configuration is done in the Listeners tab. So the next step is to start thinking about the transformations and actions we need to apply to work with the data. Typically, the first step is to work with a parser. The parser detects the data format of the message and can automatically extract fields, as we can see here. This way, it understands that the message uses a key value format. It extracts the key and stores the corresponding value in the same variable. This allows us to work with each of the stored fields. First, we have to select the field to parse, in this case the message. We can choose the real-time data or incoming messages, but sometimes this isn't possible, so we can paste a sample message for reference. This also applies to the parser. By default, the parser will try to detect the message type and automatically parse it. However, sometimes that's not enough, and we need to specify more details or adjust spacing if the data isn't well separated. In the Code tab, we can modify the fields or how information is split from the event. Below, we also have a preview of the fields that will be added to the data flow, helping us confirm whether we're extracting the needed information. Lastly, you can fine-tune the parsing by extracting all fields, only specific ones, or by setting a custom delimiter. You can also tell it that you don't know how many times a pattern will repeat. Otherwise, it will only look for the first occurrence. You can even add another parser or apply it to the output of the first one, for example, to extract parts of a source IP address. Then we could specify separate by dot and it would break down the IP components. You can also see the empty fields causing errors, which you should try to handle. Another powerful action is the field transformation action, which includes many field-level operations. You can mask, transform or trim fields with different options depending on the data type. For example, you can convert an IP to hexadecimal or change types entirely. All types can be converted to and from hex, base 64, etc. You can also blur or distort IPs or URLs, convert to hex, encode or decode URLs, extract IPs, parse URIs, and much more. Arithmetic and logic operations like multiplication, addition, subtraction, or computing medians are available too. There are common transformations like CRCs, which allow encoding fields in 2, 4, 6, or 8 characters depending on the CRC 8, 16, 24, or 32 used. However, these require a way to reverse the encoding, like an external dictionary. Other transformations include trimming whitespace, converting to lowercase, counting occurrences, sorting, find and replace, extracting substrings, using regular expressions to pull out parts of the event, filtering, toggling case, randomizing text, reversing strings, obfuscating credit card data, or uppercasing. You can also apply hashing to avoid sending data in plain text, convert between CSV and JSON depending on ingestion and destination requirements, encode or decode to decimal or binary, work with data time formats, convert to Unix or epoch timestamps, and change date format. Go to our documentation for examples of each. You can convert strings to lists using custom separators, adjust text format, parse integers, write compact JSON by removing white space, and convert units, distance, mass, speed, like kilograms, to ounces or pounds. You can decode JWTs, pass Unix permissions to integers, convert large numbers into human-readable formats. For example, 1,235,523 becomes 1 gigabyte. Get string lengths, escape or unescape characters for special symbols or quotes. Regarding find and replace, you can choose whether to apply it globally, case-sensitively, across multiple lines, and whether the dot matches any character. For any field transformation operation, you can apply multiple transformations to the same field. These are applied sequentially. First the top one, then the second, then the third, etc. If a transformation changes a value needed by a later one, it may break the chain. If this happens, you can reorder the transformations to ensure everything works correctly. Usually, apply specific operations first and general ones last. Other transformation actions include flat JSON, which flattens a nested JSON so all fields are at the top level. This is helpful because parsers typically only detect the first level. Math expression allows math operations on numeric values, not strings. JSON unroll creates one event for each item in a JSON array. For example, for a purchase ticket with multiple products, each product becomes a separate event. That's a general overview of how transformation actions work in ONUM.